Welcome back. Houston voters Saturday also filled 4 at-large seats on city council, and there appeared to be a trend with candidates heavily emphasizing law and order taking 3 of the 4 contests. In at-large 1, former prosecutor Julian Ramirez narrowly defeated attorney Melanie Miles. In at-large 2, anti-crime activist and pastor Willie Davis beat Nick Hellier. In at-large 3, former Astros executive Twyla Carter prevailed over Richard Cantu. And finally, in at-large 4, incumbent Letitia Plummer bested former Air Force officer Roy Morales. Panel, do some of these outcomes collectively reflect heavier turnout in the more conservative portions of our city? I'm going to start with you, Sergio. You got a split there. I know that your goal was to increase representation on city council.
Absolutely. You know, LULAC is nonpartisan, so therefore we're more concerned about getting the job done and fighting crime and the problems of our city. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, we can work together. But the issue here is whether or not they're going to be able to work collectively to reduce the crime in our problem. And the issue with the new mayor is that he's going to work with all the different law enforcement agencies, 80 of them around the city of Houston. Instead of them working in silos, maybe they can start working and sharing some resources. They tend to work in silos. They're very territorial and they don't have unified policies. So therefore he's able to, perhaps since he did it at the state legislature and his experience with the criminal justice as chair, he's able to work and he has built relationships with these folks. So therefore that's the first step in making sure that they're able to collaborate and reduce the crime. And the issue with DPS coming into town, the response time was less. Crime was reduced when it happened in Austin. There was an incident that happened. They got a lot of attention, but that was a small piece to the big puzzle, which was to reduce crime and increase the response time in Austin. So I think his practices are effective. Anything that reduces crime in our city is always a plus.
All right, Sue, we talked a little bit about this. Were there some unintended consequences of reaching out effectively for the Whitmire campaign in a nonpartisan way, but to more conservative voters that had public safety as an issue?
Well, it was a different election. I mean, first you had 2 Democrats running. Usually we've had a Republican-Democrat situation, so you had 2 Democrats. And you had one Democrat, John Whitmire, who really made a huge effort to reach out and really run a nonpartisan race and put a lot of time and effort into reaching out to Republicans, convincing them that he was the person that should be mayor and that they should trust, and that he would stick to the issues that were important to them. And that's why I believe that's why he won such an overwhelming victory, was that he did reach out to conservatives and they believed him and they voted for him.
Okay, my theory has been the crime issue played a big part in getting people to the polls and motivating people to actually vote.
Absolutely. The crime issue is most significant, but I disagree a little bit with my friend Sue. I don't think the Whitmire campaign targeted conservatives. In fact, I think they avoided doing that. What he did is run issues that transcended politics, public safety, and infrastructure. It's an issue in the Democratic communities, it's an issue in the Republican communities or conservative communities, and so he ran the race right down the middle. But you didn't see him embracing Republicans or key Republican people who endorse. He ran his campaign for the city, which I thought was really smart, and that's why he won. And now, of course, people are going to expect him to deliver because he got a mandate.
All right, Charles Blaine, all of these new council members will be armed with the initiative, the ability
to Charles was pushing
to pair up with 2 other colleagues and bring their issues onto the agenda. Are you hopeful?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, and even, the first instance we saw of this was Councilmember Amy Peck bringing forth an amendment with Councilmembers Huffman and Shabazz to address the water bill issue. And so I'm hoping that we see more thoughtful policy coming out of this new council. And with crime being a top issue for them, I expect that to be something that they jump on when they first get in. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to this.
We're going to talk